Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about my day 4 update for the Grim Pillars Spell Totems Oracle. Now today we're going to talk about a few tech choices that I've found, but mostly we're going to talk about going for Energy Shield and just being a little bit more defensive, because being around 2,000, 2,500 life for a while is fine. That's kind of like every League starter ever. But at some point, you're going to face harder content, and it's just not enough. Now, you might be surprised that I'm not going Archmage, but overall, unless you have perfect gear, it just didn't really make sense, meaning rings with percentage mana implicit, and also the amulet that gives you Archmage for free. It never really panned out, and meanwhile, Energy Shield is just an absolute powerhouse, as is tradition. And that doesn't mean Mind Over Matter is not doable. You definitely can do that. It's just Energy Shield is what I came to after a lot of consideration. First things first, though, let's talk about some important gem changes that I made. First up, Morrigan's Insight or Biting Frost, it doesn't really matter. Both are around the same. Morrigan's Insight has like an ability where it gives you a tiny amount of ward, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's just about removing Elemental Discharge again. It just consumed Shock a little bit too much for my liking, and the uptime was just not there. Even though we had really good Shock application, there's really no reason to run it anymore, and I will be removing it moving forward once I make the guide as well. And so go back to Biting Frost or Morrigan's. It's just straight up a tiny bit better. Then we have Willem, one of our commenters, talking about Living Lightning and Crystalline Shards. I've tried Crystalline Shards out before, and it didn't really register why I would use it. The problem is mainly that the enemy was always on 16 Pales, which got me to understand that it doesn't get removed fast enough. And also it only works on the cold damage part, and half of our damage with Mana Tempest is lightning. So it didn't really make sense, especially because the next support gems we're going to have here are going to be Ralakesh, and it's going to be extremely competitive. Sorry, Rakyadas is what I mean. But either way, the Crystalline Shards didn't make sense, but he's right about Living Lightning. I put Living Lightning in Entangle, and it's absolutely a pleasure to play because the Living Lightnings are going to roam around, and I'm going to kill the rest of the crystals. So I would highly recommend just going for Living Lightning. I will be doing some more testing with Crystalline Shards, but right now it doesn't seem that great, but we'll see. And then at the end, Seraph's Heart. Now I have a 6th link in my Purity of Fire, and you look over it and you might notice that it's only level 18. Just so you're aware, you can actually 6 link your Aura this patch with a Perfect Jeweler's Orb, and all you have to do is click the Perfect Jeweler's Orb on the item. It will let you, and then you have that 6 link. Seraph's Heart is just cute, defensive, a little bit of extra. But let's get to the good stuff, the Energy Shield version. So as you can see right now, I'm around 8k Energy Shield right now, and I can get more if I wanted to. Now, in order to do this, this should be in a situation where you feel like you have enough damage, maybe even too much damage, and you want to get tankier. That is the situation you should be in order to go Energy Shield. Before that, don't do it. Improve your weapon, improve everything, because you do lose approximately 30% of your damage. In return, you're going to get a lot tankier. And when I mean a lot tankier, I mean a lot tankier. I'm now 95 with 33% XP. And before I was dying constantly at level 92, which was quite annoying. And so yeah, I can only highly recommend it. Get enough damage so you can lose a little bit to go Energy Shield. The build still has way too much damage. It's not even close. Now, respec the tree to ES. So the first thing here is that your tree will look a little bit different. There's a few decisions that seem odd, but really aren't. The first one is not taking Patient Barrier. Now, the way they reworked start of Energy Shield this patch is they made it a lot harder to get faster start of Energy Shield charge, and they nerfed this node from 60 to 20%. You also have to go through a useless int node here, so it is just not worth it. However, Enhanced Barrier, definitely worth it. Then we go for this new cluster right here, Cyril of Tarth's Light, which gives you some AoE, light radius, which I absolutely love because it makes your minimap more responsive to stuff that's happening. 10% faster start of Energy Shield recharge, very strong, a very good new cluster. And in general, we're not getting much else. We're pathing down here. We're getting Illuminated Crown, more light radius, and then you have to somehow figure out stun and ailment threshold. I'm gonna do that with Hollowed. And the rest is all coming from our jewels. So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jewels, which all have Energy Shield between 10 and 20%. So that is quite important, and that's how you're going to get most of your Energy Shield. Also, in Act 4, there's a new reward that actually gives you 30% increased maximum Energy Shield, which yeah, it's just straight up buff. The last bit of percentage energy shield comes from our amulet. You can get quite a bit here, and with the quality defense modifiers, you can get over 50%. Okay, so you have a lot of percentage from the tree, from jewels, but you have to also get flat to multiply off of, so you need a new body armor. So away with the life, away with the mana. Your prefixes are now there to give you energy shield. The body armor is a little bit of an exception because you also need that spirit roll, so it gets a little bit harder, but all the other slots you will notice it's just energy shield, energy shield, energy shield. On boots, obviously you want movement speed on top as much as you can get, but then yeah, as much flat energy shield as you can possibly get. If after a respec you're at around 6,000 plus energy shield, I think you've done it correctly. Make sure that everything is qualityed and yeah, have some percentage on amulet or maybe flat on amulet, whatever you can grab. You can also use the discipline aura on your scepter. Just know that then you're not going to get those free supports because once again, these only work on purity. And lastly, get some faster recharge and recharge speed. The biggest thing here is the darkness enthroned, which gives you increased energy shield recharge rate from your Rune of Recovery right here. Now, if you don't know what the spell does, it doubles the augments that are in here, and you can roll a certain Darkness Enthroned. In this case, I have the one that can use sockets as though it was a body armor. So this is usually just a body armor one, which now you can socket it in here and it almost gets double effect. And then you can also be curse immune. If you have a better idea for the second slot, go for it. But this one makes me temp chains immune and feeble immune. It's just beautiful. Now, you might be confused about how to get faster recharge because they did nerf it everywhere, right? Surely. These nodes are now all trash. They're not worth picking. The only cluster that's remotely worth clicking is this one right here, where you get 14%, okay? Well, turns out they forgot. They forgot about jewels. So jewels, one mod alone can get you up to 15% still, which is more than most notables after rework. So thanks GGG, I guess. Yeah, they forgot. I have it on almost every jewel, not all jewels, because some of them are just too good to give up. But yeah, I have like 3 rolls, I think, in total. It is quite important to get faster charges because otherwise it's 4 seconds. 4 seconds is just not really acceptable. If you can get it down to like 3, that's great. But you want to have at least 2 to 3 rolls. Also, if you haven't already, make sure that you get the Nascent Hope Thawing Charm, not just for the freeze immune, but for the energy shield recharge starts on use. So whenever you get frozen at this procs, boom, it starts and you go back up. Now, this next change is really important and you have to do it if you're CI for a multitude of reasons. First up, you're going to lose a lot of mana rolls in the way that you're going to respec. You're not going to have as much mana as before, and you're going to lose some mana regen as well. And it is very easy to solve. So the way it goes is you go unnamed hardwood. Now you have to have all 4 ascendancy points because all of these other nodes are way too important not to. But your 4th point will be unnamed hardwood. Totems die 6 seconds after their life is reduced to 0. So that means after they die, they still stay there at 0 HP or 1 HP, and they will keep hammering away, which is huge because you now basically can ignore totem survivability. And then also +1 maximum number of summoned totems. Now, this is both relevant because if you look at my spell totem right now, you will notice that I only have a level 14 one, which is exactly the breakpoint to where you get limit 2 totems. So that with Ancestral Bond is limit 4 totems, right? But you get the +1 here and you're back to 6. And you can see that I can still put down all 6 of my totems. Now, if you don't know why I can now put down 6, it's because I finally got the Anoint for efficient inscriptions. With this, the spirit reservation goes from 75 to 63 per totem from Ancestral Bond. But back on topic. So you can level down your spell totem to level 14 theoretically, and unnamed hardwood makes it so it just doesn't matter. They stay up anyways. That is huge because of one reason, mana. If you look at my mana cost right here, it is abysmally low. Now, I do still run efficiency 2 right now, but once I get a Rakyadas, I will be replacing it. But for now, that's there, and I can also run Zenith just because I'm spending so little mana. If you look right here, I'm entangling. I'm well over that 90%. The only time it really goes down is if I go Mana Tempest on boss, or I spam Ellie Weak and Frost Bombs, which is just completely unnecessary. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Would highly recommend trying out this energy shield setup. Just make sure that you have enough damage so that if you lose a little bit, you're going to be fine. But then defensively, you're not going to get one-shot by on-death effects, especially, which are quite annoying. And you'd be surprised how good it is to be just immune to chaos damage in general. Now, next update is going to be weapon craft. There's a lot of cool tech out there that we're going to try on stream over on twitch.tv/Palsteron tomorrow. So I'll get that up. It will probably give me another 60-70% more damage. So that's going to be huge. and some other adjustments. I might grab myself a Rakiata and dump the LD Weak and Frostbomb stuff. But yeah, we'll see. With that being said, since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.